Okay, everybody. So I kind of made some discoveries when playing with the mouse stuff. Let me show you. In fact, because let me show you the old program that I was using. Copy that, paste it into there, and save it. Compile it. Okay. So the old program I had was this, and I made a video on this, and it just kind of takes the mouse position and it actually highlights where it's at. So the vertices that are near the mouse just get a color boost and it all goes towards white. So it kind of lets you know where the mouse is. So I discovered, based on the input and see what happens with the input right here, the mouse callback function. Okay, it receives from actual Windows operating system itself the X position and the Y position. Okay, and then it just gets thrown in mouse X in and mouse Y, and it goes into a uniform variable. Okay, and it goes into the shader as mouse in. Okay, so here's the callback function, and here's the shader. Okay, so I did all this before, and I posted the video. But what I did was I actually discovered that I was really, really off in my calculation of the mouse coordinates that are sent in by Windows. So I did a little bit of experimenting and I figured it out. Let me show you. Okay. So based on when it sends in the mouse, like here's our variable right here. We're just going to go through this really slowly. So the mouse in variable. Okay, keep in mind that this is throughout the whole screen. So the mouse can be anywhere on the screen. So wherever it's at, we're going to subtract 960. Okay, so if it's over on this left side of the screen, let's say, that's going to be 0. And as it gets over to this right side of the screen, that's going to be 1920, because in this case, as I passed in the variables, the screen width is 1920 and the screen height is 1080, which we'll get to in a second. So from this variable, which goes from 0 to 1920, let's look at what happens. Okay, so if it's 0, what's going to happen? It's going to be 0 minus 960, okay? And then I divide by 960, which effectively gives me -1. So over here, that's -1, and that's the OpenGL coordinates, right? Normalized device coordinates. Perfect. So then we take the position of the vector that we're calculating, and we subtract that from the mouse position. And if that distance is less than 15, okay, so you take 2 divided by 1920 and you times by the 1 pixel times 15, and you get 0.156. Okay, a little bit of PowerShell math. Anyways, so, and the absolute value of that. And then so if you're within 15 in the X direction, it will trigger this R color to be white. Okay, but there's also the and. Okay, so that's just one condition. So if that's true and this is true, now you notice there's a little difference here on the y coordinate. Now when the Windows system apparently throws in the y coordinate, it's actually going from 1080 up here on top to 0 on the bottom. Okay, so I just changed inside here, instead of the y minus the actual half value, it's actually 540, which is half of 1080 minus mouse in y. So okay, up here. So at 1080, it's going to be 540 minus 1080, which is negative 540, divided by 540, which is -1 in the position. See, so it's going to go from -1 to down here at 0. So 540 minus 0 is 540, divided by 540 is 1. And then it's going to calculate that, and again, within this normalized device coordinates of 15. So at any rate, now what it does, and I actually changed, you can see how the arrow is pointing to the spot where the vectors are white. That is because I changed the input mode so that we could actually see the cursor. So instead of disabling the cursor, I made it cursor normal. And you'll notice as I go to the top or the side or the bottom or the left, I don't actually have any clamping in my code, but Windows operating system sends in that clamped mouse coordinate, so I don't have to worry about clamping, which is nice. Okay, so alright, I just wanted to share that because that's a discovery. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more, because we're actually getting ready to go pre-alpha. I know pre-alpha seems a little bit redundant, but I want to do pre-alpha, alpha, beta, and then release. And that's going to be a 3 to 6 month process. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe and leave comments in the section below the video. Love all the questions as well. Thank you.